This game was a milestone in the computer graphic. Today's video is about Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D is a first-person shooter. It's not the first ever first-person shooter, but it's probably the one that brought the genre to the forefront. Developed by id, obviously, as everyone knows. I'm not going to educate you on this game. We're just going to talk about some fun stuff to do with the game and look at the fascinating array of ports and sequels, but not that modern rubbish, no. We're stopping at return, so manage your expectations now. As I was preparing this, I was thinking about the dubiousness of this next story. I'll run it past you and you tell me what you think. My dad came home from work one day and said that work had let him take a laptop home to keep.
Sounds like bullshit. We don't exactly believe that.
I'll leave it for you to judge. It was the early 90s and we had a 286 desktop at the time. And although apparently Wolf 3D could run on a 286, this laptop that was donated to Dad was a 386 and it had VGA graphics. Now, although Wolf has since been proven to be able to run on CGA, which looks hideous, and EGA, which looks fine, VGA was all it was intended to run on at the time, and this was my first experience of VGA graphics. It was a truly memorable moment to first load this game up and see how colourful and 3D it was. It blew my mind. But before we go deep with this, let's just look at the history. And again, I'm never ever here to educate you. I'm just going to shoot the shit, look at some old stuff in the Wolfenstein series because it's just interesting. Beginning here with 1981's Castle Wolfenstein. So obviously, as you may have noticed, that's not in 3D. It was from 1981 and it is what it is, you can see it. It's a very basic looking game, but probably quite a fun idea for the time. Given the year it came out, it's not a bad looking game and it probably was quite fun. And it probably still adds that tension of moving from room to room and never quite knowing what you're going to get. After Castle Wolfenstein was Beyond Castle Wolfenstein, which looks a little bit better. We're still in the really crude 80s era of graphics, but it is a step up. And again, I think it looks like quite a fun game. It looks simple but tense. There's a few games from this era that I like, that I've always liked. I always liked a game called The Goldie Story, which some people sneer at, because they're all about the Great Escape on the Spectrum. But I found the Great Escape baffling to me at the time, because I was really young, whereas The Goldie Story was quite simple to understand, so I was on that side of the fence. But the whole World War II gaming genre in the mid-80s was kind of intriguing to a little kid who didn't really understand the background. What we're going to do next is just dive in with a little bit of me playing Wolfenstein 3D on the PC, so sit back and enjoy my elite gameplay. Right. I actually had to check if I owned this game. Because I've got a ridiculous notion. Of course I owned it. I've always owned a version of this game at some point. It's like, has there ever been a moment where a version of Wolfenstein hasn't been on my hard drive? Oh, I thought this was... Nice. That guy hasn't come through the door yet. It's interesting. Sometimes I feel like they come and check, or maybe I have it on harder difficulty. Oh, there we go. I just killed a dog. Oh god! Any secrets in here? I can't remember. That looks suspicious. And I was wrong. It was not suspicious at all. Killing dogs for fun. It's just a game. Appalling, really, though. Although I do have to eat dog food as a punishment. I think I forgot just how much music there is. Which sounds like a pretty redundant statement, but I knew there was music, much like there is in Doom. But I couldn't honestly say I could have hummed this to you before I started playing, but now I'm playing, so of course that's the tune. It's not quite smooth, it doesn't feel smooth, it feels sort of like hard work. As far as I can see, it's uncensored. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty uncensored. I don't know if there is another version that is censored, I just heard rumblings about such things. And you know me, I don't do research, so I'm a vibes guy. Give me something here. No. Curious. No. Feel slightly uncomfortable touching that flag, but that looks suspicious. Nope. What the heck? Right, I think I know where the exit is now. I should hope so. My health's lower than I realised, or not. I'm one of those guys that I don't realise I'm dead until the screen turns red. Okay. We're near the end here, aren't we? Ha! So, I just walk through here and that's the end of the level. Or I go here and get that. Wow, that's so cool. So now I go and that's the end of the level. Or I go here and go to this bit. Secrets. I bet I didn't get all of them. That is embarrassing. I missed 2 secrets then. I can only apologise. So Wolfenstein has had a bazillion ports. I don't think you can beat the PC, but they have really tried because there's some very cool looking stuff out there. Sadly, Game Boy Advance was not one of them because of the limitations of that device. I actually had it on Game Boy Advance and enjoyed it immensely, and it had Spear of Destiny packed in as well. I thought it was pretty great to play Wolf in handheld anyway at the time, but it looks kind of bad, doesn't it? Doesn't look anywhere near as good as the other versions you're about to see. The SNES version looks great. For some reason, I presumed the SNES version wasn't going to be very interesting, and I almost wasn't going to include it, but if you look at it, it's actually a really great port. My grandfather walked in on me, playing this game, and saluted me. I asked him why, and he told me that I had now experienced what he had during World War II, and that I was now a man in his eyes. Definitely happened. That is definitely true. That absolutely happened, and as we can see, Wolfenstein 3D is exactly like real war. Plunging into the YouTube comments is truly disturbing at times. The next couple of ports are for 2 of the most successful consoles of the 90s. The first one is the 3DO port. Obviously, being serious, the 3DO was a flop, but this is a pretty cool port. It's better looking than the PC. The sound is fantastic, and I've played this on real hardware, and it's cool. Which is all I have to say, it's cool. My cutting edge gaming critiques. And the Jaguar, Atari Jaguar. Jaguar? Again, I mean, I can't differentiate between the Jaguar and 3DO versions, or the consoles, but definitely the versions of Wolf 3D. They're both really cool, great, and play fantastically. I think the only thing with the Jaguars is that it needed a few more buttons on that controller, because I think, it only had 19. What are you going to do with 19 buttons? Come on, sort yourselves out. I was really excited to see what these versions were like. So the Mac version of Wolf 3D was disappointingly cool. I was hoping to be sneering at it and thinking it would look like the return of the Obra Dinn. Not that it doesn't look cool itself, that game, but I'm digressing there. The Mac version actually looks really great. I'm very impressed, and there you go. So if you had a Mac, you were right all along. It really was the best choice for gaming. And then the Apple II GS version, again, it's pretty good, isn't it? It looks good. I didn't even know the Apple II got to a 5th generation because I don't know about Apple. It's not my area. Nothing's my area, I'm an idiot. But again, I was very impressed by it. All 6 of these ports are pretty impressive. The GPA looks ugly as hell, but it's handheld, so that gets a pass.
When pick up big gun expression really amazing.
Wolfenstein obviously has had many sequels, but the modern 3D ones, that modern 3D nonsense, never really grabbed me. I played one for a bit, and I say I played it, I bought it with money and started it. And it just felt like a QuickTime event with some Scottish guy calling me Glasgow and shouting at me. And after about 10 minutes of what was effectively a cutscene where you hit a button every few seconds, I honestly was so full of resentment for the game, I never played it again. I don't know which Wolfenstein that was, and I don't care either. I know I'm getting all sassy about this, because I just didn't like it. It felt nothing like Wolfenstein 3D to me. A game that did feel exactly like Wolfenstein 3D, as in literally the same, was Spear of Destiny. Because it's just more levels, isn't it? It might feel a bit more mystical or earthier, or it's less stuck in a castle and weirder, but it's the same game with more levels. It just got a bit harder, I would say. I think by the end of Spear, I was playing on the lowest difficulty to finish it because it was actually getting quite draining restarting the levels with pistols. But it's a very nice addition to the series. After a fair few years came Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which I am going to include here even though it is modern 3D nonsense, because it was really exciting to see Wolfenstein come back. It has the feel, I think, of Wolfenstein. It's well made, it's nice looking, it's a lovely addition. And then they went and made like 4 more of those modern ones, and I just became saturated. Wolfenstein saturation set in, and I just couldn't keep up anymore. But one other interesting game that shamefully I did not realise existed was Wolfenstein RPG on phones. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, that looks quite good. And that's despite me not really liking RPGs, but I thought, it looks okay. And I looked into it and I couldn't believe it that John Carmack actually programmed it, and apparently it is very good indeed. I'm quite curious about it now because against all odds, something that doesn't sound like it would work, maybe it works, and it does look great. So coming back to Wolf 3D, just to give a kind of review I suppose, as I always do, just hit the bullet points, like it's just iconic in terms of graphics. I'll never get over that first moment of seeing the vibrant VGA graphics, and in a 3D game too. I think it looks beautiful now, but I am a sucker for retro game art, to be fair. The voices in the game are quite amusing and do make you jump, and it's an absolutely memorable, quotable game. The sound really adds to the mood of it. There's just sort of low-key music in it, unlike the Doom sort of bangers, and most of them are on Doom meant to get your blood pumping, whereas I always felt like Wolf music was meant to be a little bit more stealth-like. Can't really fault the controls on this game, it's expertly designed, and I love playing keyboard only. I think we lost something when we started bringing these awful mouses into gaming. Although ironically, just on a tangent, I actually did first play Wolf with just a mouse. I remember just sitting there trying to frantically roll the mouse forward, trying to make my character walk. If you think about it now, it's like, are you insane? That's a terrible idea. But once I moved to keyboard only for Wolf 3D and Doom, that was the way to go. The only thing is the turning circle on the character is painful. Maybe it's designed that way to add tension, but it's the one thing that does kind of bother me. In terms of objectives, if you don't know what to do in this game, then maybe gaming isn't for you, because it literally is go to the end, and if there's a locked door, find the key. It's not rocket surgery, so I think you can do it. I'm not going to say there's anything more than the most simplistic of objectives involved in this game. This is a game that is still available everywhere, by the way. It runs on anything, it's incredibly immediate. I think even a modern gamer could easily sit down and surely get some kind of kick out of it. It's such a brilliantly conceived game, and people still play FPSs, so why would they not enjoy this? It's still hard if you play it on hard mode, it's still tough. It's 33 years in and I've not stopped playing this game yet. One day I might even get good at it. But it's an absolutely brilliant game. It doesn't get old, although it is old. This is one of my all-time favourite games, and I've been waiting a long time to do this video, and I'm glad I did. So thank you very much.
This is game.
Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked what you watched, please remember to like and subscribe because it's absolutely free and it's much appreciated. Bye.